And let's roll. Oh, sorry.
Howdy, folks. What's going on? I'm pretty sure that at this point we are definitely live and in living color. How is everybody doing tonight? Let's see here. Make sure I got all the gremlins worked out of the system early on so we don't have to worry about it later.
Watch out for those guys.
Yeah, I know. So far, so good. I've got Night Strike in here with me. Hey, on Night Strike.
Hey, cousin, what's going on?
Not a thing, brother man. Not a thing. Dano, how are you, buddy?
I am doing very well, thank you. And the
Dano
reason
was.
I'm doing very well, in case anybody's curious, is although it shouldn't be a thing, it is a thing. I visited the tax man today, and I actually, for the first time in my 57 years, I actually nailed I owe nothing, I get nothing, which is exactly what I want.
Well, congratulations. That's always a good thing. Well, getting something back is better, but
Getting
not
something back
owing
is
is
better.
Well,
not.
I've never liked the idea of giving the federal government a loan, nor do I think they need it.
Oh well.
No, but you
Eh,
also don't want to pay more than your fair share.
well, here's the problem with that loan: you never get completely back what you pay in.
Yeah,
So
you don't get the interest.
yeah, exactly, and so it's not exactly a loan.
No, it's not.
So Dano was telling us he got a phone call from the NRA just before the show started. How did that go, Dano?
Rather short because I interrupted her and said, "I realize this is what you do for a living, and and that's all fine and good." I said, "But I don't have two nickels to give together that would go to the NRA at this point. So thank you very much and have a good day."
Wow.
Now take those 2 nickels and go and give it to the GOA or the Second Amendment Foundation.
Yep. Or your
or,
state.
Or your state rifle association or firearm association,
yeah,
whichever they have.
you can always donate it to gun tube.
Or you can donate to GunTube on Patreon.
Yeah. 2 nickels. 2 nickels in a month is 10 cents. So 10 months.
Or that secret fund me spot that never seems to get pushed or even mentioned.
Oh, my GoFundMe. Yeah,
How do you expect that
I
thing to work if you never say anything?
I forget about it. I honestly, it just slips my mind. But there, yes, ladies and gentlemen, there is a GoFundMe out there. I'm trying to get to this show in Tulsa come April, and at this point, it don't look like I'm going to be making it, but I'm going to try. We are going to see what's going on. Um, Before we go any further, let's give a shout out to all those wonderful people over on the Gun Channel side, which is Cycle Camp, Ralph, and Dano at this point. Dano, you're pulling double duty again.
I do what I can.
And over on the YouTube side, we have Rich White and Grim. How you doing, Grim? Grim, you want a link? I will be more than happy to give you one if you want to jump in. And we got 8 people watching, but nobody's saying anything, so I have no clue who it is. But hello, whoever you are. Now that that's out of the way. So, I've got some news.
Uh-oh.
I am going to be doing something different with the channel from here on out. I'm going to be doing one-on-ones every Thursday. Period. We're not going to have panel chats on Thursday. What we're going to do is I'm going to have somebody show up, and it might be somebody that's been on the show 15 times already. That's fine, but it's going to be a more one-on-one uh, experience instead of the panel chats. Uh, I promise you guys interviews, and that's what I'm going to try to get into, even if it's the same person I'm interviewing 100 times until I can get other people on the show. That's what I'm wanting to do. That's the direction I'm wanting the Thursday night show to go. The Tuesday night show, on the other hand, I'm going to keep on, doing the panel thing. Just general discussion, talk, figuring out what's going on. whatever news of the week comes up, we'll discuss whatever drops in the hat at any given time. So that's going to be the way we want to run the Tuesday night show and the Thursday night show from here on out. I'm also going to be working on openings for both shows. I think I need to do a little upgrading here and there and change things up a little bit. And so any input would be very welcomed from anybody. If you got a comment to leave it, good or bad. I'll read them all. And most of the time I try to comment back. So
now, for those people that are commenting now, of course, those comments go away after this chat is ended. The only comments that stay are after this post is a standalone video.
Yeah.
So my question to you, Mr. Ellis, is if somebody was listening live right now and wanted to leave you a permanent message that you could see later on, how would they reach out to you and do that?
Everybody's got my email address. It's real simple, ellishatfield@gmail.com.
Well, they got it now. They didn't have it before, so very good.
It's really simple. Anybody on gun channels can get a hold of me quite easily. Just drop me a message and I check them constantly.
That's L-I-S.
E-L-L-I-S. E-L-L-I-S.
You see, you also said ellishatfield.com.
Yeah, well, it is what it is, brother.
Like, I mean, especially being from the South, you guys are supposed to be like, speak a little slower. You're speaking so fast, I can hardly keep up with you.
I do not speak fast.
Well, your rhythm kind of goes back and forth. It slows down and then speeds up.
I think what it is all the time that I have spent living in all these different places throughout the United States. It's all catching up with me, and it just becomes a blur.
Okay.
You got to remember, I spent some time living in New York, and everybody up there talks fast. And then I lived out in, Oklahoma and West Virginia, Tennessee, Kentucky, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina. I've lived everywhere. It is true, I was born a rambling man. And you know what? I hate traveling. I really hate traveling. It's just, life is what it is. And how are you, RL? Grim, I have no clue what you're saying. Elshat.com, Uh-huh. Okay. Yes, we'll go with that, Grim. How about this? There, thank you, Rich. See, I can always depend on Rich White to help me out in a pinch. I've got the absolute greatest audience of anybody on gun channels. Grant you, they're everybody else's audience too, but
I do have a question. Speaking of channels, and this has to do with an impending change coming up here in the next week. Is for those smaller channels out there that may have just over 1,000 subscribers, but may not necessarily have the number of views that are required by YouTube to be monetized. Does that mean that they also cannot participate in a super chat?
Yep. If you don't have 1,000 subscribers, you can't be monetized or have super chats.
Okay, let me try it again. There are two qualifiers. You must have at least 1,000 subs, and there's a certain number of hours of viewed.
You have to have both, not one or the other.
Okay, so somebody who has 1,000 subs, 1,001, cannot receive money via a super chat.
No, someone who has 1,000 subscribers and the views can do the monetization, and that includes super chat.
Okay, I wasn't sure if they were including the super chat in regards to number of subscribers, because that's not adware, but that's not advertisement money.
No, it's not, but they include it in there. It goes to the same system.
because I mean, I can understand the business reasons to a very limited degree, as far as commercials, but as far as a direct, not compensation, but direct encouragement to do things a little bit better, to expand your channel in various ways, that comes directly from your viewers, is a totally different source of funds. I mean, it's like PayPal. You can send $1 to somebody and they won't take anything out of it if you want. So I guess I and maybe that's the vehicle that smaller channels might want to consider taking. As far as
I have already got a Patreon set up, and I do have Patreon subscribers. As far as actually monetizing anything for YouTube, I don't ever see me doing that, honestly, because to me it's just more hassle than it's worth. I never got on here to make a whole lot of money or make any money at all. I just did it because I wanted to do it. Now, for those people who are actually trying to make a business out of this, that might be a different ballgame. You might want to.
Well, I was thinking more along the lines of not just putting it in your pocket and having a big steak at the end of the week, but actually, getting a better microphone, maybe getting a different camera.
And I've thought about that too, and I can see the benefits of those things. But for what I do, I'm just talking for me here. I can't talk for Ghost or Clover or Matt or Yankee or anybody else. I'm just speaking for me. For what I do, I've got this computer. I never turn the cam on, so that's not an issue. I've got a cheap little headset, little Skull Candy headset, and that's what I do. That's what I use. Now, when I decide it's time to go out and make videos and I need to buy better recording equipment or stuff like that, then I could see that becoming an issue where I would need to we need to upgrade some stuff here. We need to get video cameras, tripods, whatever else we're going to need.
Let me try one more way to phrase this that you might get. And it just fell right out of my head. I swear I'm having a stroke.
Please don't. At least not on my show. You can wait till after.
I'll tell you what. We'll come back to it.
Yeah, we can do that. We got an hour. There's no rush. I'll tell you who you need to talk to about that. Honestly, would probably Clover, because the man's a genius when it comes to this, or even Ghost. Ghost is quite savvy when it comes to computers and technology. Believe it or not, he does know what he's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes, and there's this other guy, Night Strike. How could I forget?
Right. Okay. Good.
Yeah, you're sitting right here. Everybody knows you know what you're doing. You're in this show all the time. Everybody hears you talk tech. I don't talk tech because I don't know shit about it.
It's never too late to learn.
Yeah. I'm catching on slowly.
I mean, you're using a computer right now. You're halfway there, man.
Yeah, well, it only took me 5 years to figure out there wasn't any button on your computer.
That requires a little searching, but
first time I turned the computer on, it says push any button to continue, and I was looking on the keyboard going, well, where in the hell is this any button? I don't see an any button.
They literally mean press any button. So whatever button you have on the keyboard, press one. That's what they mean.
Well, I was new at this at the time, and I didn't know that. I'd never looked at a keyboard before. What the hell? Come on. I'm from West Virginia.
Probably should say
give me a break.
Press any single button on the keyboard.
Yeah. Well, that would have helped.
Well, actually, no. Then you'd be looking for a single button. making sure it says single on it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, any double button would be a little redundant. Push any double button to continue. Continue in English, press 1. That's the one thing that aggravates me.
It's like
continue in English, press 1. Why do I have to press 1? Let's talk in English when I'm in
Spanish. Press 2.
If I'm in an English-speaking country, why do I need to press 1 for English?
Shouldn't it already be in English?
Yeah, exactly. Press 1 for Spanish. Press 2 for Chinese.
I didn't go through 12 years of school, including some college, just to be told that English isn't our native language.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, actually, let me correct you here.
American.
We do not speak English. We speak American. Make no mistakes about it. The English speak English. Americans speak American. The Australians, who the hell knows what language that is?
They speak didgeridoo.
They got their own shit going on.
And the Kiwis?
Well, they're like the Australians. They just don't tell them I said that, because there's some Australians out there.
They're still a little bit sore about that whole having to break off of Australia thing.
Let's see what's going on out in the chat over here. We got Jelsma still out there. How you doing, Jelsma? Rich White. Did Ellis just say Night Strike knows what he's doing? Yes, I did say Night Strike knows what he's doing. No, that was not a slip. I actually said it, and I actually meant it. You guys always picking on poor Night Strike. He don't have as thick a skin as the rest of us, so you got to be easy with him. You got to handle him with kids' gloves.
It is actually pretty thick, but he's just tired of being the whipping boy.
Ain't nobody whipping you. Nobody has whipped Night Strike. Dano, have you seen anybody whip Night Strike? I certainly have not. I think what you're trying to say is you're sick of being the butt of the jokes.
That too.
Well, I've been the butt of a few of them myself. And if I remember correctly, you've actually jumped in on that more than one occasion.
I don't know what you're talking about, my friend.
Oh yeah, okay. I'm sure you don't. I'm sure that you don't. The difference is I pick my moments. I let you put your own foot in your mouth, and then I just push it down further.
Oh, is that what that is? Okay.
Yeah, that's exactly how that works.
As long as we got that settled.
Yeah, well, I'm certainly not going to put your own foot in your mouth for you.
Well, I'd hope not.
In fact,
I'm willing to give it a shot.
What are you shooting, first of all?
I'm putting somebody's foot in somebody's mouth
for
them. And I'd like to start with Yankee.
Oh boy.
Okay, well, what has Yankee done?
Just on general principle.
Oh, well. Now, the man ain't even here to defend himself. But I can send him an invite.
Since 2012, which is first when I heard of him and got involved in YouTube chats, there are more reasons than I've got fingers and toes.
Dano's a little angry at Yankee.
Oh, no, there's a difference between angry and I dislike the man.
So which is it? Are you angry or do you dislike him?
Or both.
Or both.
That's a good question. Let me think about that.
Potatoes and Lead is listening to us from work. How you doing, Potatoes, buddy? Who else is out there? We have got 13 watching us over on the YouTube side right about now. And Pink Panther has joined us on the Gun Channel side. How you doing, Pink?
Hello, Pink.
So, Night Strike.
So,
did I hear you say that before the chat that South Carolina is trying to push through this open carry bill?
Yeah, apparently they're doing it again. I guess, or it's in the works. but don't know whether it's going to go anywhere or not. I'll link you to the latest. It's they're trying to restart House Bill 3700. The Senate's trying to do their own one. I think they're trying to revive 449. Both are open carry or constitutional carry bills. It's like if they could just agree on letting people have constitutional carry in the state, but because a lot of them have been rhinos that say, "Oh, we don't want anybody carrying without proper training and whatnot." Then we're not so sure we want people to be able to carry because they can already carry in their car. They can do it if they're going hunting or fishing, so they don't really need to open carry in South Carolina. Got a lot of those assholes. Unfortunately, one of those assholes was Such's cousin, but you know what? I'm not going to apologize for his cousin being on the fence. Which is why that guy didn't get reelected last year.
There's a very old saying in regards to that sort of thing, and although it is a little different than that situation, it's the sins of the father should not be visited upon the son, and it has to do with if you have a relative that's wrong-minded for one thing or another, that should not necessarily reflect directly upon your own character.
Yeah, I won't go into detail. I'll go into detail off air. But I've got a similar problem with my dad's side of the family up in New York. So that's another chat.
Mm-hmm. But didn't the Senate here in South Carolina already pass the bill? They just couldn't get through the House, or it hasn't went through the House.
And now the House is trying to do something else as well. So it's like, guys, some of you are already for this. So you guys in the House get a committee together. You guys in the Senate get a committee together. Have a dual committee meeting and get this shit over with. It's 2018. Give us constitutional carry or open carry in South Carolina. The rest of the South has it, except for Florida. And Florida is Florida. We all know this. So Georgia, get with the fucking program, South Carolina.
When Georgia instated the concealed carry permits, they got rid of the open carry. I don't know what sense that made, but they did. So it used to be 15, 20 years ago, you could open carry in Georgia and you were good. But when they instated the concealed carry, they got rid of the open carry, which made no sense to me whatsoever. But
look, here's the thing: if you have a concealed carry permit, you can open carry in Georgia.
Yeah, if you had the permit.
But it's not hard to get a permit, though.
In Georgia it's simple. You just go to courthouse and fill out the paperwork. No training.
Literally, they hand them out more so than they do in South Carolina because I had to go through a course for that. But the point is, it's not hard in Georgia. It's actually really easy, and it should be like that all over the South. But unfortunately, you have politicians that think they have more common sense than you do, and by enforcing more arbitrary laws, they think everybody will be safer when it actually hurts the citizen to have arbitrary laws and helps.
Who knows? It's one of those situations where we're just going to wait and see.
But the House is trying something. The Senate is also working on it too. If they could just get together, like have a giant lunch or something, and just hash out what they want to see, what both sides want to see out of it, to where the end result is getting the South Carolina citizen being able to open carry without worry or harm. That's all people want. That's all people want. How hard is that?
Who knows?
I mean, if you want people to have a permit, while I'm not happy about that. I'd rather have constitutional carry. But if you want people to have a permit, just rewrite the law that says that no one can open carry without a concealed carry permit, and just make it a carry permit. That way you get double the amount of money, because people who just want to open carry will go and get a concealed carry permit, which would have the same effect. You get more money out of them if they're worried about just cash.
the only problem with West Virginia is the damn weather and the fact that there are no jobs in West Virginia.
Coal miner.
They're closing, dude. Most of the mines are still shut down. They're working to get them reopened, but at this point, they're still shut down.
Now, it's an unrelated but related question. Is most of West Virginia high sulfur coal?
Do what now?
Is most of West Virginia high sulfur coal?
You know, I'm not sure. I really am not sure.
Because
I could not answer that question.
Although it's a man-made thing as far as good versus bad, it's a real thing in the economic world.
As I wouldn't even know where to begin to answer that question. But I can tell you this from somebody that's lived in coal country pretty much his whole damn life. The coal mines that are there are making money, and there's still a lot of them open. But there's been, like I said, tons and tons of them. But if you go online and you look up Welch, West Virginia, which is the closest town to where I actually grew up, it used to be a booming town. I mean, you go in there on a weekend and it was jam-packed. You couldn't get your car through the town. Now it's a ghost town, and this is 30 years later. So that once the mines around there shut down, everything else went right behind it. So, you know, they've tried to bring in Walmarts and put it just outside of Welch, and it's shut down, and Kmart, and it's shut down. Nothing lasts.
Well,
there's a few mom and pop places still up and going. How they're staying in business, I have no clue. But it's just it's bad. It's horrible. But I found out something I didn't know. McDowell County, the citizens of McDowell County were apparently the highest population for voting for Trump during the last election. Now you're talking about a predominantly Democratic county. These are all coal people, you know, and most of those people in those hills vote Democrat. They always have. They don't believe the same way the Democrats of this day and age do, and they still got it in their mindset that the Democrats of this day and age are the same ones their mother and their father and their grandfather and their grandmothers voted for.
They believe the Democrats are like the old style, what is it?
They think JFK when they think Democrats.
No, that, and they all, some of them still think, what are the other ones? Roosevelt.
Yeah, well, and that's not the case anymore. I mean,
yeah,
the ideologies are completely and totally different than they were 60 years ago. But they don't see that, apparently. And it's always amazed me because they are pro-gun. I don't think I knew a person in McDowell County that did not own a gun as a kid. And there was, you know, you'd walk in their houses and you'd see their little gun chest or gun racks or whatever. Nobody had a gun safe because, well, as a kid, you knew not to touch the damn guns. You were taught from the time you was big enough to know what a gun was. You don't touch it.
So Ellis, you're from McDowell?
Yep.
Yeah. Ellis, my family's from Wayne, so.
I'm sorry.
We're still relatives, so whatever.
Yeah, I know. But
that part's the middle of nowhere.
The economic situation in West Virginia is dire. They need to figure out a way to get some industry in there other than coal, because right now Trump's done what he can to get the coal mines up and back going again and running. Last, all it's going to take is another liberal to get in the office, and that's going to kill it. And but you
also have to look at it is the Democrats have been very successful in West Virginia in regards to those coal miners that used to work and make a fairly decent living financially. But now the new industry is welfare and public benefits. And that's what hooks them into the democratic system. hardcore multi-generational war.
Well, I've seen that too, and I know a lot of people throughout my life that could have got off their butts and got a job, but instead they wanted that check.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, and it's not a city thing. It's not an Appalachian thing. It's a human thing.
it's
I mean, whenever you tempt human beings with free stuff, the natural inclination is to say, "Well, sure, I'll take free stuff. Who wouldn't?" Now, even though it's not in their best long-term interest, because there's an unseen penalty there called an actual future that's above subsistence level, they may not necessarily see that. By the way, I'm reloading, so if you hear little metal sounds, that's what I'm doing.
Oh, well, that's interesting. What are you reloading?
I'm 9mm. Actually, I'm priming cases specifically.
Oh, well. See, eventually I would like to get into reloading and doing all that, but as for right now, I just don't have the room to do so. So,
well, I'm actually using my oldest son's 8th grade study table that he had from his room. This is maybe 4 feet long by 2.5 feet deep. And you don't really, people think you need some vast space to reload, and that is not true. I mean, you just simply need something with a firm base that you can bolt a press to. That's it. I mean, you can even use two smaller tables as long as one of them can support the press.
Let's see. Take a look over here on the YouTube side again. Philo is asking, episode 1. Yes, this is the first episode of the Hanging with the Outlaw show. This is going to be the name of this show from here on out. The Tuesday night show will be known as Hanging with the Outlaw. The Thursday night show, as we all know, has also had a name change. It's Shooting It with the Outlaw. So we have a name for the Tuesday night show, and we have a name for the Thursday night show from here on out. So
now I do have a mini crime report if you're have interest related to guns.
Okay, well, we're always interested in.
I went to most of the gun stores in my area don't necessarily carry reloading supplies in my area. So, but that's also how the one guy that does stays in business. Is he's got all sorts of powders, all sorts of primers. He's always got it in stock. So he's kind of like, found that niche. He also does, rifles and shotguns and pistols and fully loaded cartridges. But reloading, he's the place to go. Anyway, I went there today after I got my good tax news, which is I don't owe any taxes. Don't have a refund, but that's fine with me. I don't believe in loaning the government money that they don't need. But to purchase some supplies, and I got in there. I made my purchase, and I saw when I walked in, there was a piece of wood over the door, and it says entrance, and it had an arrow to go over to the side of the building, which I did. And then I went into the place. I was looking around, found what I wanted, made my purchase, and then I turned around and I saw the opposite side of the front door. And it was only then that I noticed that the front end of the building had been pushed in by about 2 feet. And then I said, "What the hell happened over there?" And then the owner told me that while he was on vacation in Florida, of course, he's got cameras inside out, that sort of thing. And it's a one-man shop, so he really has to have some good cameras or some good security. Is someone drove a minivan into the building, and he said before he went on vacation, he shoved every either pistol or rifle or shotgun that had value into every secured space that he had. And he said, so the only things that were out were the entry level type firearms. And he said they came in. He says they were literally in here only a minute and a half, and then immediately left. He said, and what they got were two $200 shotguns. That's it.
And
Now, unfortunately,
that's enough
you would think, well, he's insured, so he's covered. Well, he also owns the building he's in, and it's going to be about $15,000 to fix the building, of which insurance will cover, again, part of it, but not all of it. So he's out, thousands of dollars for what was two inexpensive shotguns. By inexpensive, I'm talking about, he said his cost was $200. So,
and he'd have probably sold them. He'd have probably sold them for $250, $300, and
yeah, I didn't bother asking make your model or anything like that, because this guy's got a fair amount of high end. He doesn't have a big inventory, but what he has is mostly nicer stuff. So you don't go to him for the high points or for the skies. You go to him for
our skies.
Whether it be a high-end rifle or whether it be a collector's shotgun, or a original 1911, those are the sorts of things you go to him for.
Did the police have any leads, or did he say, or what?
Well, they definitely had knew that these were the exact same robbers from 3 other stores, because they had the license plate and a picture of the vehicle. And of course, the vehicle was stolen, but the vehicle was also used at 2 other robberies. So they're able to, so any evidence they can get from the other robberies, they can obviously tie them all together in a nice bow. But they did make a couple of arrests. So they believe that they got one of the 2 guys that was in his store. But that vehicle was also shared with other criminals to do other crimes.
So basically what they're saying is a ring. They got a crime ring going on, not just 2 guys around. So.
Whether it's a ring or whether it's just a very loose association. Yeah.
Midnight's asking me a question here. Ellis, how you like those 2 new shotguns you just picked up? It's 1 new shotgun, and I haven't picked it up yet. I should be paying it off tomorrow. So I was going to do it last week, but the week before I was missed a couple days work because I was sick, so didn't have the cash for it. Paying it out tomorrow.
What'd you get, or what are you getting?
It's a Mossberg 590A1.
Oh, I like that. Very nice.
No, you're very welcome.
Well, are you giving it to me?
No. No, this is mine. Somebody promised me a bayonet for it, so I'm gonna see what happens there.
Which bayonet?
Well, I don't know. It's a surprise.
That means Night Strike has to go order it now.
that means a M9 or
It may be a 7.
Well, if it's the M16, it'd be the M7 or the M9.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, but since that's a fairly large gun, I would think the M9 would be most size appropriate.
Yeah.
Where if it was a carbine or something, then I'd say an M7.
Now, no, see, Night Strike, not Midnight. I'm sorry, Night Strike. I was confusing you with him.
Don't confuse me with that, 2-bit fry cook.
Yeah, well, Freudian slip. Apparently, Midnight has his wires crossed. He thought I actually broke into your local gun dealer store and stole 2 shotguns. No.
Yeah, no, you didn't drive up to Illinois just to steal 2 shotguns.
No, if I was going to actually steal guns, it'd be more than just a couple $200 shotguns.
And I think the word Benelli would be on at least one of them.
Probably.
And maybe
a Ruger Red Label. you're going to get a shotgun, you might. If you're going to go to prison forever for stealing guns, you might as well steal guns that are very expensive.
Who makes the a British shotgun? Look, aren't they pretty good?
I believe Beretta makes them, but yes.
What did I say?
Beretta.
Oh, well,
it's okay though. We're all having these Freudian slip moments today. It's okay though.
You know what I meant, and I guess that's all that's important.
I guess so.
At least I'm proud of you two. I really am. We have been doing this thing now for 42 minutes, and there has not been one mentioned of the anything edible. I'm proud of you guys. Even with midnight in here, we have done well.
And the best part is I have no idea what you're talking about. So there.
Yeah, good. That's makes it even better. Maybe the effect is wearing off on us there, Nightstrike.
Maybe
he can take his.
Don't mention it.
Mind tricks somewhere else.
Yep. I might start talking about video games if he starts talking about food.
Or somebody might start talking about Taco Bell fries.
Oh man, those Taco Bell fries are good.
Those Taco Bell fries are freaking awesome. Yes, I tried them.
Did you do a video yet?
No, I didn't do no video.
You gotta make a video. You gotta do the Taco Bell fries challenge.
Look, dude, I stopped in on my way to work. I picked them up and I ate them before I got to work. There was no time for videos. I was freaking hungry, so I just ate them and moved on about my business.
So disappointed in you.
Well, I'm sorry.
No,
God forgive me. No, you're right. I'm really not. I got the order of fries, and I got the grande fries.
Grande.
Oh man, that stuff was good. If you I'm telling you right now, people, if you haven't tried them, try them. They are good. And yes, midnight. Now we are talking food chat. Sorry. It's okay though.
I apologize for nothing.
No, not when it comes to these fries, because these fries are the bomb. I doubt Midnight Range could come up with anything as good as those fries.
Yeah, it's true.
Just saying. Just putting that out there. There's your challenge, Midnight. Come up with something as good or better than those fries.
You can't do it.
I don't think you can. I really don't think he can. But does he accept the challenge? That's the question. Oh my God! See, now he's wanting Philo to look at his sausage. What kind of pervert are you, Midnight? That's sick, dude.
I may have to go and ban him.
It's
gone downhill. Well, folks, that's all we have. That's all the time we have for tonight. So we'll see you later.
No, we're gonna leave it going for a few more minutes anyway.
If Midnight Range keeps it up, I don't know if you want to.
The self-promoting kind. I'm everything. He's an everything bagel kind of guy. You know, if I was going to compare myself to a food, it would not be a bagel. I think maybe something a bit more hearty. How about a cheeseburger? I'd compare myself to a cheeseburger. Thick and filled with goodness. And now we have the Travi P11 in the house. See, now the Travis are all showing up.
What the hell's going on here?
How you doing, Travis? Ellis eats a banana and a bagel every morning for breakfast with his butt. No, 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 no. See, that's not nice. You keep saying how unnice I am. What is your issue, Midnight? What is your major malfunction, you Travi fool?
You just answered your question. Travi. Just saying.
Yeah, this is true. Yeah.
I mean, Travis P11 is really the only Travi that has it all together.
He does have it pretty much. He's got his stuff together. And I got to say, last night his choices on Matt's chat for the top 10 best rock bands of all time, they were pretty damn good. Me and him had a lot of the same choices there, and I was impressed. He's pretty smart for a Trevor.
Which is weird.
Yeah, which is weird. I was rather impressed with his choices. And if I'm not mistaken, him and I came up with our number 10s one after the other. We picked the same one for 10.
Yep.
So, P11, I was looking for you over on the gun channel. So I was going to send you a link, but it looks like you're not over there. So, no links for you. Hashtag no links given. Hashtag we didn't want a damn Travi in here anyway. I told you, didn't I tell you that Chris Ledoux was freaking awesome? Some of his stuff is freaking classic, man. Chris Ledoux is, and for any of you guys that like country music and you've never heard of Chris Ledoux, you need to do yourselves a favor. Go on YouTube, look up some of his stuff. It's awesome. The man was a legend, and he's got some. He's done some work with Garth Brooks. He's done some stuff with I think Toby Keith and him did together. So if you like Garth, you like Toby, listen to Chris Ledoux. Man,
isn't he deceased?
Yeah, he died
years ago.
Yeah, cancer got him, I think.
Yeah,
which is sad. That was
yeah. So but hey, it happens to the best of us.
Yeah. It's early on in 2018 right now. I'm sitting back and wondering, well, who's leaving us this year? So, and the first thing that comes to mind is like Willie Nelson, because he's what, 90, maybe 190 at this point. Somebody needs to bubble wrap that man. I'm telling you, we can't afford to lose Willie Nelson.
My grandmother's birthday is this Sunday.
Maybe it's the THC that's keeping him alive. It's preserving him.
Something's doing a good job of it. No, I am a big Willie Nelson fan. I've always been a big Willie Nelson fan.
Wouldn't be.
I thought it was rough for me when Johnny Cash died. So, and I will be the first to admit, when Willie goes, I'm probably going to shed a tear too, because the man is an icon. You can hate his music, you can hate anything else he's ever said or done, but you have to admit the man is an American legend. Period. There's very few out there that can say that they have done the things that this man has done and accomplished what he's accomplished in any music genre. I guess the closest out there would probably be Elvis Presley, and he's been dead since '77. So
he's been gone a while.
Yep.
I don't think. I think it's a bit of a stretch trying to compare the two, and it has nothing to do with liking either one of their music. It's a matter of the influence that they left behind on future generations of music creators.
You know, I think in different ways, they both have had a lot of influence on several areas of music.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that Willie doesn't have any influence. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying that it's like Elvis and the Beatles, and I would throw Johnny Cash in there as a third.
Yep.
As far as influence on those to come. Even if you didn't care for their music, it's what came as a result of their music, of people who were influenced by them.
Elvis is singing at the flea market every Saturday. Of course, a Trav, I would say something like that.
On Elvis.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing that you people don't get.
Elvis
did not die. He just went home. Okay.
Yeah.
Have you people not watched Men in Black? For crying out loud. Now I know how Bobby Heenan felt through all those years. Go figure.
I have to say, I don't know who that is, but...
Okay, how can you not know who Bobby Heenan is?
Sounds like a professional wrestler.
Well, he was a professional wrestler at one point, and then he went to being a professional wrestling manager, and then he went to a commentator, and I think he died last year, didn't he? If I ain't mistaken, we lost Bobby Heenan last year. Damn it, I'm getting sick of this. Everybody from my childhood's dying.
Everybody's dying off.
Yeah, that sucks. We went to the Bubble Wrap Night Strike, too. Make sure it's hang around a while.
I'm younger than you. There's no problem there.
I'm too damn stubborn to die. What are you talking about?
Ha! I thought my grandfather was too, and he's still in the.
My spirit will live on forever. It's going to come back and haunt everybody listening to this show.
But Midnight Range TM the most.
And I'd like to say for some of us, that's already started.
Well, then my legacy shall live forever.
Okay, Obama.
Hey. There is no sense in saying things like that to anybody, man. Don't insult people like that. That's wrong. It's rude. It's completely uncalled for.
Right.
You can call me a bastard. Don't call me Obama.
Oh, that's great.
Call me anything you want to call me. Just don't call me Obama.
All right. I'll be right back.
It's hitting below the belt. Good Lord. That'd be as bad as calling somebody Midnight Range TM. And that's bad. Let's see here. Taking a look over here on the Gun Channel side, see what's going on. Fries season like Doritos, Ralph says. Elvis is not dead. He just went home.
Okay, we've all heard the Men in Black scenario.
Hey, yeah, well, you know, you can't get enough Men in Black. Tommy Lee Jones is just a badass. Like him or not, he is a badass.
The original, very good.
You know, I wasn't a big fan of the second one. To me, it was a bit weird.
I mean, I've always been a sci-fi fan.
Wasn't there a Men in Black cartoon for a while?
They probably were. I'm sure somebody tried to make a nickel off them.
What about a nickel?
That's about what you're worth.
Aww.
Hey, Midnight Range, I got a question for you. Now, I know you don't normally do this except for your sous chef level Patreons, but I would love to see your take on a peanut butter banana sandwich. I would love
to see cooking. That's just assembling.
It's assembly.
Oh, well, assemble. People have different takes on things, though. You know, some people.
It's like, you know, putting together an AR and building an AK. You assemble an AR.
Yeah, you can put together an AK, or you can put together an AR, or build it.
Not without certain techniques that are beyond just screwing and hammering,
Well, this is true.
like heat treating.
It can all be done if you have the right equipment. Speaking of the right equipment, I think our dear friend Night Strike is working on that goal eventually. Trying to get the equipment up to start building his. Are you going to actually try to make AKs or just ARs?
I'm just gonna mostly make ARs. I mean, I could make AKs, but that's not really my scope. My scope is more ARs. They're easier to assemble.
See, you used the word. You used the word.
Yes.
So don't get me wrong, Dano. I am gonna get a CNC machine and I am gonna mill receivers, but the hard part is just assembly. So.
I thought you said something about doing some 1911s too.
Yeah, those aren't that hard either.
Well, apparently they're dangerous, though.
Well, they are dangerous, and while I don't agree with everything Yankee says, or hardly anything he says, there is one thing I do agree with right now is some guns need rounder edges. And I'm not just saying that because I'm totally saying that because I got bit by one.
You didn't get bit. Come on now.
That wasn't sliced.
That wasn't bit. That was cut to the bone. Are your stitches still in?
Yes. 14 days. I cut into a vein. So. Anyways.
What's Midnight saying here? Dano said screwing and hammering. Yes, Dano's always screwing and hammering something. Leave poor Dano alone.
Yes, I am resizing cases along with priming.
You leave our good buddy Dano alone, otherwise she'll have us to deal with.
Well, see, Midnight's talking about that peanut butter and banana sandwich. I want to see you make one. You need to make a video of you putting together one of these peanut butter and banana, a deep fried peanut butter and banana sandwich. Now that sounds like it's something that would be interesting. I would eat that.
How do you deep fry? No, I don't want to know because I don't think my arteries could take it.
Put it in a deep fryer. Put the sandwich together. Put it in a deep fryer. Let it sit for a couple of minutes, if that long. Get it out and eat it. I bet that would be freaking awesome. Maybe spice it up a little cinnamon. That would probably be good. That would probably
feel my arteries.
Ellis, if memory serves, you do have regular and ongoing access to a kitchen in which you could do your own little thing.
Yeah, see, I don't mess around in that kitchen. I wash the dishes. That's all I do. I'm the dishwasher. I don't do any cooking.
You come in 10 minutes early. You got all those prep tables behind the main grill or whatever it is.
Yes, but see, they don't like me.
You open up that premium loaf of bread.
They do not like me screwing around with the ovens and the stoves and all the other stuff.
Just slip the chef or the sous chef, 20 or something. Say, make me a peanut butter and banana sandwich and deep fry it for me.
First of all, there is no chef. These people are cooks. They're short order cooks. That's what they
slip the cook a 20. I'm sure he'll do it for you.
Huh. Yeah.
Or are they reheaters?
He'd just say thank you, senor, and put it in his pocket.
So are they reheaters or cooks?
No, they're cooks. They actually. And here's the thing about the restaurant that I work in. They grind their own beef for hamburgers. Everything there is shipped in. They grind it right there at the shop. Most of everything you get's fresh. The seafood's all fresh. It's freaking good. They do a really good job. In fact, I ate what they called a California chicken sandwich the other day. It's freaking awesome. Not my favorite sandwich they got. My favorite's probably the Cuban. I love the Cuban. But
I love
California.
Cuban sandwiches.
Oh man,
Those are delicious.
I could probably eat 4 or 5 of those at the sitting.
I could too.
Well, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we have ran this one for about an hour. We are calling this one done for the night.
Boy, we really went. Is this the dietary show?
No, apparently, yeah.
Because there was not a whole lot of meat on the bone on this show.
Hey, I thought there was lots of meat on this bone. Wait a minute. I want everybody to strike that from your memories. I never said it. I'm going to delete that from the show later on. No, I won't. I don't delete anything. What comes out stays. Anyway, Ellis said he could eat 4 or 5 a Cuban. Yes, I could eat 4 or 5 Cubans. Yes. Sandwiches, midnight. Sandwiches.
Sandwiches, you dolt.
They're rather soft when they wash up on the beach.
Oh man, I can't believe you said that. Yeah.
Wow. Dano.
They've
been puree tenderized.
And pre-salted.
Yeah. In that saline solution.
Wow.
Never
and
mind.
even tenderized by shark teeth.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm so disappointed in you, Dano.
This is normal for my show. I just, this is, I would like for the show to become more kid friendly.
Well, nobody told me that.
Well, neither did I. I just realized that. But anybody with any sense wouldn't let their children listen to this anyway.
I mean, if this is I'm going to call it the Clover edition, then we need to know that.
No. This is not the Clover edition. I don't mind an F-bomb here though.
Hey.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we are calling it quits. Night Strike, you got anything to plug?
Hit or miss Tuesday nights 9 o'clock. So that means tonight 9 Eastern.
9 o'clock tonight. Let's see who else is on tonight. Ghost Tactical.
He'll be Tactical Tuesday.
Yep, Tactical Tuesday's on at what 8?
Yeah.
Who else? Anybody else? And we got G-Webs has got the Daily Gun Show at midnight, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Big Gunner 81 between Ghost and the Daily Gun Show.
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. There is your lineup for tonight. Dano, you got anything to plug?
Nope. I was going to say something that I realized, oh yeah, family show.
You say whatever is on your mind, brother. Okay, guys. Y'all have a good week, and we will see you Thursday. Maybe I'll have a surprise for you. Maybe I won't. We'll see. Y'all have a good one. And Night Strike. No Felicias.